many times I done miss you. I know how to call when I want to. Now you got way bigger issues. You're running around like you single.
Everyone, thank you so much for stopping by. My name is Lady Peace. If you're coming across my video for the first time, thank you so much for stopping by. I really love you guys. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys how to make a bubu kaftan dress with a tight waist, just like you see on the screen. So if you're interested in this video, I'll advise you stick to this video till the end. So let's get into today's video. So guys, to make this dress, I'm going to be making use of this blue duchet fabric here. I had 2.5 inch, so I'll advise you make use of 3 yards instead of 2.5 yards. Okay, so I have my needles here, I have my ruler, my tape, and my chalk, as you can see. Now remember, this fabric is on fold. I went ahead to pin this down because it's kind of, it's, if I don't pin this down, I don't think I'll be able to work with this. So the first thing I'll go ahead and do is I'm going to draw a straight line up here to serve as my starting line. As you can see, just go ahead and pin this here. Remember I said this is on fold. Now I'm going to tell you how to fold this. I'll go ahead and measure my shoulder divided by 2 and the sleeve length. So that was how I got the fold here. So from here I'm going to mark my shoulder, which is 15 divided by 2, which is 7.5. I'll mark it here, and then I'm going to go ahead and mark my sleeve length. Now I want my sleeve length to stop at my 12 inches point, just like so. So that was how I folded the fabric. Now the next thing I'll do is I'll just try and adjust this to come close to me. I'm going to be taking my neck width of 3 inches, but at first I went ahead to mark 2.5 inch, and I later changed my mind. The neck depth for the back is 2 inches. I'm making use of 2 inches for the back. So here I'll just come over here and mark my 3 inches point. Then I'll go ahead and connect it together like this. So the next thing I'll do is I'll come over to this point here where I marked my 12 inches point, and I'm coming down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope. Then I'm going to use my ruler and connect this point here to meet my neck, just like this. And this is totally optional. You can decide not to do this, but as for me, I prefer doing this. Now after this, I'm going to place my tape from my shoulder here, and I'm going to come down by 11-inch point, which is my bust point. From this other shoulder slope here, I'm going to come down by how wide I want my sleeve to be, and I want it to be at my 11 inches point. So from where I marked the 11 inches point here, I'm going to divide my bust circumference by 4, which is 10 inches for me, and I'll go ahead and add extra 5 inches because this is a free dress, and I'm adding 5 inch for my allowance. You can decide to make use of 4 inch, you can decide to make use of 3, You can even decide to make use of 6 inches, okay? But as for me, I went ahead to mark 5 inches, and then I connected this like this. So I'll just go ahead and connect this line to meet my armhole like this. So this is it. I'll make sure to have a nice curve here. Where I'm standing is a little bit difficult for me, that's why. So I'll just try and curve this, and after then I'm going to use my ruler. I'll take this line down to my hemline, to the full length of the dress. I'm just going to draw this down to the full length. I'll just go ahead and cut it out. So guys, to cut the front, I went ahead to place the back here. I folded the fabric and then placed the back, and even went ahead to pin this down. Now I have another line you can see there, and it's 1.5 inches. I went ahead to mark 1.5 inch away from the ends of this fabric here. Now the next thing I will do, as you can see, I went ahead to pin this down. If you're working with this fabric, I'll advise you pin it down when making use of it, because it's kind of very trickish. Let me use the word trickish. So just go ahead and pin it down before making use of it. So what I'll do is I'm going to place the back on this 1.5 inch points, and I'll go ahead and pin this together. I'll place it on this 1.5 inch point, and I'll pin this together just like you see me doing here. And after then, I'm going to take my front neckline. So I'll just make a point here and then remove the back, because the front is not going to be the same with the back. I'll just remove the back like this, and then I'll come down by 4 inch for my neck depth, and then 3 inches for my neck width. Then I'll just go ahead and connect it just like so. This is the only difference between the front and the back, and the 1.5 inches points I drew there, that's the only difference. Every other thing will cut, every other thing the same, exactly the way I cut out the back. So this is it. I went ahead to adjust my camera so that you can see this clearly. Remember, the neck depth was 4 inches and the width is 3 inches. So I'll go ahead and place this back on that 1.5 inch point. And after then, I'll just go ahead and cut out the neck for the front. So guys, after I was done cutting this out, the next thing I'll do is I'm going to cut, I'll just go ahead and open this, because the front will have like a center. We'll be stitching the front together. So I'll just go ahead and open this just like so. You can see. So this is what I had after I was done. I went ahead to iron this so that you will understand what I'm trying to say here. So as you can see, it's now 2 instead of 1. So from this point where I marked my 1.5 inch, I'm going to come down by 4 inches, just like this. Then I'll place my tape on my from the shoulder, and I'll go down to my 38 inches point. That's where my slit will start from. Now the next thing I'll do is from this point here, I'll just go over to the sewing machine and stitch this down to the 38 inches point. And when I'm done, I'll show you what I had. So guys, I'm done stitching this out, and one thing I forgot to capture was when I used my hemming gum on it. So I went ahead to pipe the neckline for the front and the neckline for the back. Now for that, after stitching it, I went ahead to use my hemming gum to hem the center part, don't forget. So this is the back. I'm gonna ahead to pipe all the necklines, okay? So this is what I had. I'll have to turn this over like this. Remember I said I forgot to use my hemming gum to show you when I use my hemming gum to gum this. Now I have these pieces here. I went ahead to cut this out. Now the length is 38 inches and the width is 4 inches. Okay, so I will just go ahead and fold this like this with the wrong side. I'll just fold this like this, and I'll head over to my sewing machine and stitch this down with 1/2 inch, and I'll do same for this other one. So this is me stitching this down, and when I'm done, I'll just use my scissors to turn this over to the right side. So when I'm done, I'll just go ahead and do same for the second one. And after then, I'll just use my scissors to turn this out to the wrong side, and I'll go ahead and give it a good press with my iron. So guys, I'm done ironing this, and this is what it looks like. As you can see, you see how neat this is looking. So what we'll be doing next is I'm going to bring my tape, I'll place it on my shoulder, and I'm going to mark 17 inches point, which is my waistline. The waistline for me is 17 inches. So I will go ahead and do same on this other side here. I'll mark 17 inches on this from the waist, from the shoulder. That's where I'm placing my tape, don't forget. Now I'll just go ahead and divide my waist circumference by 4. Note, I'm going to start my measurement from this center here, this center point here. Let me just go ahead and turn this tape over to this other side so that you understand what I'm trying to say. From the midpoint, this center point where we join our front, I will go ahead and mark my round waist divided by 4. And from the center here again to this other side, I'll go ahead and still do same, my round waist divided by 4. Now I'll bring this strap here, and then with my my pins, I'm going to place this on that very point where I make a point there, and then pin this down like this. Then I'll come over to this other side and repeat the same thing. I'll place this on this other point here, just like this, and then I'll pin this down too. And after then, I'll go over to my machine and stitch this down here like this, and I'll also do same for this other side here. So guys, this is what I had after I was done. I also went ahead to stitch my shoulders with 1/2 inch, just like this, and I did same for this other side. I stitched them together with 1/2 inch. Now the next thing I would go over to the machine and do is I'm going to fold my sleeve. First I'm going to fold this with 1/2 inch, and then fold it with 1/2 inch again, and stitch this round the sleeve. And I'll go ahead and do same for this other side. Fold in with 1/2 inch, and then fold in again with 1/2 inch, then stitch it round. Then after then I'll just go ahead and stitch the sides together, and this is what I had after I was done.
So many times that I miss you. I know how to call when I want to. Now you got way bigger issues. You're running around like you single. Slow down, only you the ginger, the whole town. Slow it sometime. Go out, mountain for your back, make it run wild. Slow it sometime.